Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be on this absolute crazy G82 M4. We're going to be doing a full wrap on this car, including shuts and returns and also the boot returns. We're going to be wrapping it in Avery Dennison bubblegum pink, and my god, this thing's going to stand out and it's definitely going to turn some fucking heads. A lot of you are going to love it and a lot of you are going to hate it, but I tell you what, you'll all be fucking talking about it, I promise you that. So yeah, let's go ahead and start wrapping this car. So guys, the first panel for this BMW M4 is going to be the boot return. Every time I wrap my own personal M4, I always start on the boot return. You get a nice feel for the film, and also it's quite a tricky part to do, so it's always best to get them out of the way first. As you can see, my good friend Noah come down to give me a hand putting the boot return on. It's a tricky piece to do by yourself, due to the fact you have to do a slice through the middle and then rejoin it later, as you have to work around the hinges. So with the boot return fully laid, we then go around and heat all the edges. We then let them cool down and then proceed to trim off the excess vinyl and then go around and post heat all the recessed areas. So now we're moving on to the number plate section of the boot lid. I start off by laying the bottom part of the boot lid and then tacking the vinyl just below the number plate rear lights. I then fire in the recessed area on the bottom and then chase my air out of either end where the lights would be. And again, we just heat up the vinyl, tuck it around the edges, give the edges a good heat, let it cool down again, and then just trim off the remaining excess. And remember to always post heat your recesses. And welcome Seji to the mix. This is your first intro into Seji on the channel. He has come down to give us a hand at stripping and building the vehicle back up. He has extensive knowledge on vehicle stripping, so he's definitely worth having on board for this job. He's also come down as an extra pair of hands to lay panels so they can all go down in one swift motion. So, a little bit about the fitting of the boot lid. So me and Seji tension the vinyl and then tack it to the body line. Once we do that, we then heat the vinyl to tension it all and then tack it to the glass. There's a bit of a curved section where the original spoiler would be, so fire that in first and then proceed to squeegee the rest down. We then proceed to the back side of the boot lid, where we heat the vinyl to re-tension it and tack it to the bottom of the boot lid, and then let it cool down and then squeegee it all down. Now we're on to the door shut, closest to the wing or fender if you're American. First of all, we cut a hole for the hinges to come through and also a hole for the door connection wires. Once we've done that, we then proceed to lay the flat part of the vehicle and then move to the recessed areas closest to the wing / fender. And then once we've done that, we then move to the recessed areas facing the interior. And just a quick one, guys, make sure if you're ever doing shuts and returns, you always do your shuts first. This is for the overlaps to be the correct way. You cannot do your shuts after you've laid rear quarter. Your overlaps will be the wrong way, so always bear that in mind. Pre-mass gang, pre-mass gang, pre-mass gang. Why do we do this, guys? Come on, tell me why we do it. Have you guessed? I hope you know. I'm going to tell you anyway. We do this to minimise any contamination when wrapping the bumper pressed up against the car. So guys, a little fitting talk on the front bumper. As you can see, we've already got some vinyl on the bumper before we started it. This is called inlays. You have to do this on these bumpers as you cannot wrap it in one piece. You always do your inlays first so your overlaps are the right way. So, me and Sedgy first lay the vinyl onto the bumper. We sort of tack it in the middle so it doesn't move, and then we pick one side back. I hold it round and tension it while Sedgy heats up the vinyl and then tensions it up and down while I tension it round. Once the vinyl is like glass, we then move on to the other side and repeat the process. Once we've done that, we then split the bumper. Sergi does passenger side and I do the driver's side. So once the face of the bumper's wrapped, we then remove it from the car and then put it onto the trestle so we can wrap around the edges. Now for the rear bumper. As you can see, there is blue tape everywhere. This is again to minimise any contamination and also just a protection against the extremely expensive diffuser. And again, me and Seji remove the vinyl from the backing paper, place it onto the rear bumper, and then proceed to tack the middle section. Once we do that, we then pick one side back again, heat the vinyl and tension it round, and then repeat the process on the other side. We then split the bumper, so Seji does the passenger side and I do the driver's side again, and then continue with the bumper. Now for the wing slash fender. So first of all, I tape up the wing as it's not magnetic, and then I proceed to remove the excess that is not needed around the wheel area. This is because vinyl is very static and obviously the wheel isn't completely clean, so it could pick up some dirt. So always remove your excess. First of all, me and Ian remove the backing paper from the vinyl and then place the vinyl onto the wing, the flat section on the top. We then squeegee that section down and then work my way up to the top body line. Once I get there, I then heat the vinyl from the body line and pull it round the corner. I then proceed to the lower part of the wing, which I then tension the vinyl and heat it and pull it down in one swift motion. I then squeegee the wing down. I then have a wing vent area, which I have to heat up and fire the recess in. And then again, there's a recess working down the wing, so I hold the vinyl off and fire that recess in and then squeegee the vinyl down. And here we have Big Stephen on the job. He come down to help out as well. He come down to do the first initial clean to save me some time, and then also just a bit of extra hands if I needed it to handle some vinyl. So guys, let's go ahead and start this rear quarter. First of all, we position the film onto the rear quarter, and then I hold it into position with some magnets. I then proceed to trim off the excess that I don't need. Once I'm happy with this, I then put the magnets into the middle of the car so I can hinge the vinyl exactly from the middle. I then proceed to remove the backing paper from the vinyl and then snitty it off. I then proceed to lay the flat part of the rear quarter, squeegeeing it to the recessed area. Once I do that, I then remove the rest of the backing paper and proceed to lay the rest of the flat part of the rear quarter. I then move to the bottom part of the rear quarter, where I then squeegee to the body line, and then from the body line I get Stephen to hold one side while I tension the other side. I keep it tensioned and then proceed to squeegee it down. So with the rear quarter laid, all we need to do now is all the finishing bits. So first of all, we're going to trim the vinyl down around the window and then tuck the excess behind the rubber. And now I proceed to the rear window, where I have some knifeless tape set up at 15mm all the way down the glass. This is to ensure I have full coverage from behind the glass. Now for the edges around the boot lid, where the rear light would be, and obviously inside the boot. I took all this round and then I proceed to post heat all these edges to make sure nothing creeps back. So guys, it's now time for the door shut. This is all in one piece with the rear quarter. So, how do we go about fitting this? First of all, you need to heat up the vinyl, let it relax and create a bag within the vinyl. Once you've done this, you can then proceed to feed in the vinyl to the recessed area. Once you've achieved the first recess, you then need to heat up the vinyl, retension it and tack it to the next high spot / recess. Once you've done so, you can then apply that vinyl from recess to recess. Again, just repeat the process on the next one and just apply the vinyl once you've heated it to the recessed area. And then once all the vinyl's down, don't forget to post heat your recesses. There's no point in doing these fancy cars if you're not going to post heat your recesses. But yeah, make sure you post heat. Minimum risk for this bonnet needs to be fucking 10-10. Telling you, no contamination. Let's go. So guys, let's go ahead and start the bonnet. But first of all, let's do one final clean to make sure it's as clean as it can possibly be. The guy from the unit next door kindly come over to give me a hand to lay the bonnet, as it's not magnetic and I didn't want to use tape to hold it in position. So he holds the vinyl into position while I remove the backing paper from one side and then proceed to tension one side, and then after that I roll the vinyl and then proceed to tension the other side. So I proceed to squeegee the top part of the bonnet. Once I'm happy with that, I then move to the bottom part where I heat the vinyl and then tension the bottom part and fire the two middle recesses in, and then go ahead and apply that vinyl. Once I've done that, I then move to the two recessed areas on the sides where I apply the side of one, and then basically I heat the vinyl and then fire in the two recessed areas, making sure I've got somewhere to release my air on the side. So obviously once you've done that, you can then close that up and proceed to squeegee to the next body line. And then again, once you get to that body line, then you need to heat the vinyl, tension it, and then fire that last body line in, and then proceed to squeegee it all down. So we're now on to the door returns. I know a lot of you find this interesting, so I've made sure I filmed the whole door return for you. So I'm going to let the camera roll all the way around on this door return as I'm wrapping it. So if you want to watch this door turn pink, then please feel free to watch through. But if you've seen enough of the door return, then I'm happy for you to skip through. But yeah, let's show you the door returns.
I can be your nighttime lover. We'll dance under the moonlight cover. The pleasures I will make you discover. I make you feel like no one other. We can be your nighttime lovers. Nobody has to know nothing about us. Accompanied by the birds and the summer night, I'll drive you home before the sunrise. I can be your midnight lover. 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 I can be your midnight. Ooh, if I ever said enough times, I can never let you go when you're not mine. We can be nighttime lovers. Nobody has to know nothing about us. Accompanied by the birds in the summer night, I'll drive you home before. I can be your nighttime lover. Nobody has to know nothing about us. The pleasures I will make you discover. I'll make you feel like no one.
So guys, we're now onto the hinges. This is a nice little feature that I like to add to my wraps to make it look even more like paint. I'm going to apologise for the camera angle, it's not the best, but make out what of it you can. So guys, it's the last panel of the car. It's the passenger door, and I'll tell you what, I was glad to see the thing done. A few little odds and sods, but this is the last big panel. So another nice little feature I always like to add when rocking a BMW is changing the colour of the badges. It just ties in nicely, and it's these little touches that stand out from the crowd.
bit loud, isn't it?